This is ACC College Hoops from Tallahassee, Florida. Our matchup tonight, the Florida State Seminoles, number 23 in the country, hosting the visiting Louisville Cardinals from the Tucker Center. It is so great to have you with us for our game this evening. Tom Wormy, along with Jason Capel. We start with Louisville, a team in its most recent game losing in overtime on the road at Clemson. And to make matters worse, they have to play a team that is dominant on its home court in Florida State.
With two teams searching for a win, both ball clubs coming off narrow defeats. But as you said, partner, so hard to win on the road in ACC. Louisville has a tough task ahead.
Couple of players who've made exceptional contributions for each team. And we start with Ray Spalding from Louisville. He leads them, Jason, in rebounding this year.
With two players from both ball clubs, more minutes, more production. Ray Spalding, 7 double-doubles on the season. A guy that oozed talent since he stepped foot on campus. It has turned into production. Dominates the paint. An offensive rebounding machine. He does his work at the rim inside for the Cardinals. And for Florida State, Brian Angola, a sharpshooter supreme, a guy that can absolutely build it up from distance. He runs in transition, doesn't need a lot of space or time to get that shot off. The Cardinals have to find him early and run him off the three-point line.
Jason, Florida State has won an astounding 28 games in a row here at the Tucker Center. It's a tall order for Louisville tonight in our ACC College Hoops matchup. We've got that opening tip, the starting lineups. When we come back to Tallahassee, it's Louisville and Florida State. This is ACC College Hoops.
You know, at SportsCenter, we like to stay current. And right now, user-generated content is what's hot.
So if you'd like, brought to you by Husqvarna Automower. All-star lawns start with Automower. Seeing is believing at automower.us. And by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Back in Tallahassee for the 43rd all-time meeting between Louisville and Florida State. The Cards have won 3 of the last 5. Florida State won the matchup last year. It was right here at the Tucker Center. Starting lineups, Dang Adele for the visiting Cardinals. He wears number 22. He's their leading scorer, just over 15 points per game for him. And Terrence Mann, 14.4 points per game for Mann, the junior from Lowell, Massachusetts. And Florida State coming off a loss against Miami. In fact, as Jason Capel told us, both of these teams trying to rebound from conference losses. Time for our 4 keys to the game with Jason Capel.
For the Louisville Cardinals, a team that normally turns the opposition over, 21 turnovers in that loss against Clemson. They must value the basketball, take care of it, get a shot each time down. And Florida State has fallen in love with the three-point shot. Success against Duke in North Carolina, but just 5 for 24. In that narrow loss at Miami, they must get their footprints in the paint, the discipline to turn down outside shots and get it to the rim.
You said falling in love with the three-point shot. That is a full-blown bromance. They have made 139 threes this season. That's the most in the conference, and 50 in the last 4 games. And the winning streak we highlighted, 3rd best in the nation, and 13 in a row going back to last season in ACC play. 28 straight for the Noles. That streak started on February 27th of 2016. They beat Notre Dame 77-56. So the number 23 team of the nation puts that streak on the line and saves it off the opening tip there in the white.
The Louisville Cardinals starting out in man-to-man. Must do the job communicating, keeping the ball out of the lane. And as we talked about, partner, contesting that three-point line.
Angola put it up there, and Obiagu went and got it, and he rattles the rim.
Well, those are 2 huge footprints in the paint there. The nice drive by Angola, put the defense in rotation to find the catch. Obiagu with the finish.
The Cardinals come in with a record of 11-4, 1-1 in conference play. After the loss on Saturday against Clemson, as the shot by Dang Adele was deflected and out of bounds.
Well, you love the execution of Florida State, turning down outside shots, attacking downhill. You draw a secondary defender, you make the right play and pass, and an easy 2 points to start this ball game.
Long rebound, and the Noles gobble it up with Kofor. Man on the wing. Obiagu on the block. The cutter is man, can't handle the pass. He loses it out of bounds and back to Louisville. David Padgett, first-year interim head coach for the Cardinals. In all four of those losses, the top 25 teams, that's the first thing he told me when we talked to him, Jason, prior to the game. He didn't realize that all their losses had came against such high-quality opponents.
Coach Padgett has done an excellent job. This team is stout defensively. Again, we talk about their loss to Clemson. They held them to 36% from the field. They must take care of the basketball here on the road and defend without fouling.
Now, Louisville also out-rebounded Clemson in that game. Spalding picks up the foul. His first. Jason mentioned the loss for Florida State on Sunday. At number 18, Miami, three out of the corner. Angola. Turnover. Angola the scoop.
With two inexcusable plays, you lose Angola, allow him to run unimpeded to the opposite three-point line. He's going to make you pay. Then a lazy pass from Snyder, who had 4 turnovers in their last contest, leads to an easy opportunity in transition.
5 straight points from Angola. King had it blocked. Obiagu was there. Florida State running off the miss, and man hammers it.
If you're going to attack the paint against Florida State, you better come strong or don't come at all. The block at the rim, live ball, leads to an easy transition play. Terrence Mann all alone for the jam. Florida State off to a hot start, 9-0, and it all started. The miscommunication, the late talk leads to Angola 3-ball corner pocket. And then defensively, if you're going to take it in there, you better take it with authority. The break leads to transition, and Terrence Mann goes up high and throws it down.
So a quick look at the season snapshot for the Noles. Up close to 83 points per game for Leonard Hamilton, the legendary coach in his 16th year, and he's closing in on 300 career wins.
In this team, they defend, but Leonard Hamilton hasn't had an offensive juggernaut like he has this year. They're putting ball pressure, they protect the rim, but they can score it on the offensive end as well. And that's what you have to do against pressure. You attack pressure. You go right at it. Snyder the drive, the dish. Spalding with the easy 2.
Walker top of the key. Coach Hamilton with 294 wins in his Florida State career. Kofor held the finish, didn't get the desired result, and now Snyder for Louisville. Snyder right down Broadway, life in the fast lane, and he can't finish it. Man, out of bounds, Louisville basketball.
Gotta finish plays on the road, so tough to win. Away from home, you can't leave points from the board. Coach Padgett yelling at his team on stops and rebounds to push the ball in transition. Snyder got it all the way to the cup, unable to finish.
So the Cards with the basketball. Last year the teams played in late January here at the Tucker Center. 73-68 in a win for Florida State. They led the entire distance. In fact, they scored the first 14 points of that game. Spalding keeps it alive. Adele behind the line. Angular rebound. Kofor, the save. MJ Walker's into the game now for Florida State. He's on the handle. And the release.
MJ Walker, the microwave off the bench. He's a guy that can get it going in a hurry. In time, a lot of times, he's either all the way on or he's way off. Good sign for the Seminoles that he comes out and makes his first. But way to stay with it. Williams inside, misses the first, doesn't give up on the play. The quick second jump for the tap in.
Walker. Adele. Spalding wants that 3-ball. It's a foul against Florida State.
Florida State Seminoles off to a hot start, doing the job, attacking in transition, going up high for jams. Seminoles 11-4 early.
Brought to you by Hardee's, home of the $5 All-Star Meals. The unconquered statue outside the football stadium. Football program here at Florida State, a bowl victory. And a new coach, Willie Taggart, is the new head coach of the football program. Quick numbers, 2 for 12 for Louisville, Jason.
Was struggling to get anything going. A big reason, the Florida State defense. Great ball pressure when the Cards attack the paint. There's someone there to meet him at the rim. But if you're Louisville, you've had a couple opportunities to put the ball in the basket. You can't miss layups. You must take advantage of easy opportunities inside.
That's Adele. Prior to that shot, Jason, 17% from the floor for Louisville. Florida State, 71% field goal percentage so far in the first half. Man tried to work out of that corner. Shot clock is at 10. Forrest. Mahmoud finally grabs it, and the outlet to King. King with a crossover. And a foul against Florida State. Looks like MJ Walker grabbed King on the way by.
Trent Forrest unable to finish the play on one end, but does the things that push you in the winner's circle. Sprints back, knocks that ball away, takes away an easy opportunity for B.J. King inside.
There was no foul on the play. Louisville basketball. Dang Adele, strong drive against 3 defenders. And it appears that Adele has earned some free throws.
Dang Adele is an offensive weapon from the wing position. We've seen him knock down shots from the perimeter. He can score at all 3 levels. 3, mid-range. Here, gets the middle drive, drops that inside shoulder. He's going to attack the front line of Florida State, takes the harm, earns a trip to the line for 2.
Jason, how about Adele as a consistent scorer? 17 of the last 18 in double figures, and he's coming off a double-double in the loss at Clemson on Saturday.
3 20-point games on the season. A guy that just fills the stat sheet for you. And the Cards need him to be aggressive offensively. A good sign to see him attacking the paint. Another good sign, the Cards are dominating. That's 7 offensive rebounds now in this early contest. But King unable to finish.
Man slows it up for Florida State. Kofor had it knocked away. And then a collision. MJ Walker with the foul.
But for the Louisville Cardinals, the game has begun now. The Energizer Bunny has checked in the game. Dwayne Sutton. He was said to be undersized, but he comes in and plays hard at all times. The block shot, diving for the loose ball. A transfer from UNC Asheville. This young man just plays with energy and effort, and when he comes in the game, he injects life into this Cardinal ball club.
Sutton wears number 24 in black and red for the Cardinals. From Louisville, Kentucky. Played 28 minutes off the bench. Chipped in with 5 points. Cards on a 7-2 run to get back into this one early. Adele, a big part of it, and that one is ripping the ropes.
Doing a nice job rocking the defender to sleep. If you give him space, he's going to raise up and knock it down. You love the confidence from 22 in black.
And Najee couldn't handle the pass. Other way, Jason.
And Adele, not a one-hit wonder. He makes the shot, and then he's the guy that came from the help side to knock that pass away. Leads the break, finds a teammate for an easy 2.
Anas Mahmoud with his first points of the game. Senior from Cairo, Egypt. With available basketball, 2 players sprawl on the court. Florida State and Kofor to the rim, and he got denied. Snyder. CJ Jay Walker brings it up. Hofer looking at baseline. Foul on the shot. Angola hits it.
Baseline drive, baseline drift. I've said Angola does not need a lot of time or space. He got neither there, but raises up, takes the hit from Sutton. I don't want it all. Just give me what you owe. All three and a chance at 4.
Angola, the leading three-point shooter on this team. 80% from the line. He also leads them in free throw shooting. 36 made threes on the season now for Brian Angola, the senior from Columbia.
And now 14 for 15 from the foul line in ACC play. This guy is shooting a hot basketball from all over the floor in this ACC season.
Kind of the shot clock. Sutton gets the jam.
Great pass from Perry. The in-and-out crossover got in the lane. This to Sutton for an easy jam.
The missed three, and Snyder grabs it. Savoy couldn't connect. Back down the other end, Adele. Snyder with some nifty dribbling. Sutton missed it. Savoy. Front rim, follow, and the jam, Chris Kamaji.
That's a welcome sign for the Seminole faithful. Chris Kamaji has missed almost 2 months with a foot injury. Had his first action in that time against Miami. 8 rebounds, 6 offensive. There another for a putback jam.
13 solid minutes off the bench for Kamaji in the loss at Miami. Snyder from three-point real estate, and he connects.
And Dingadale has his fingerprints on everything positive happening for the Louisville Cardinals. He turned down a shot, got his feet in the paint, drew the secondary defenders, head up, made the right pass for Snyder for an open three-point shot.
First three of the game for the Cardinals.
The Seminoles attacking early. Three-point shot in transition. There's a miss. Don't worry about it. Your 7'4" center will follow it up high for the jam.
The first half.
And very efficient. Here, the rockabye baby into a jump shot. And when you don't press up on him, the 1-2 dribble just entirely too comfortable. And he can do a little more as well, facilitating, driving the ball, head up, right pass to Quentin Snyder, who knocks down a three-point shot. 2 assists already, a block shot, a steal. This young man is that Swiss Army knife that does a bit of everything for the Cardinals, and it's been on full display here in the first 9 minutes.
One of the tri-captains for the Cards getting a breather on that Louisville bench. Brian Angola is the leading scorer for Florida State. He's got 9 points, hasn't missed a shot. 2 for 2 from three-point distance. That three gobbled up by Kamaji with the follow.
Chris Kamaji already looks more comfortable and confident in himself. The nice offensive rebound, but to go straight up with it without hesitation to put that ball inside.
4 points in the first half for Kamaji. Louisville just 1 of 7 from outside of the three-point line. That one will drop as King had a little bit of daylight for the jumper.
Very little daylight. That was well defended, well contested. DJ King is a guy that came in with a great reputation last year as a freshman. Struggled a bit, but they need his production doing the job here. And Angola once again finds an open teammate. Terrence Mann, not known as a three-point shooter, only his 8th make of the season. But when you're that wide open, the basket rolls on you. It looks like you're shooting in the ocean.
King trying to knife through the defense, and that's over Kamaji. Savoy for 3.
You have to understand scouting report. DJ Savoy is a guy that needs 2 stars beside his name, indicating he is a shooter. You can't go under. You must stay connected to him. Make him bounce it, run him off the three-point line.
Florida State is connected on their last 3 three-point attempts. And Savoy's been underused recently, but contributing tonight. That's tipped up by Mahmoud and good.
Right now, the best offense for the Louisville Cardinals is just getting that thing up on the backboard and allowing their front line to go get it. Absolutely dominating the offensive glass in this contest.
Savoy with the ball now, pumping up another 3. Kamachi goes high for the rebound. Man got it back in a fresh shot clock.
Now Florida State taking their turn with the offensive rebounds. And Tom, there's not much you can do with Kamachi. He's not jumping. He's 7'4". When he extends his arms, there's not much you can do to contest that.
Driving to the basket, Angola.
I love Angola's aggression. He's been very efficient, perfect from the field. But he's not just settling for contested outside shots. He's dropping the inside shoulder, attacking the paint, getting all the way to the rim for an easy bucket.
Angola into double figures for Florida State. He's got 11. King. Mahmoud offensive glass. Gets some help on the perimeter from Sutton. Angola, the head man. Kamachi running the court.
Initially, I was going to say, Terrence, man, you can't throw it to the big fella on the run. But don't show it all to him, big fella. The catch, the corral, the gather, and a nice little running baby hook. If it can be a baby hook from a 7'4" player, that is.
6 points for Kamachi. King makes a 3 at the other end for Louisville.
King is finding the soft spots in this 2-3 zone of Florida State. He's attacking, but he's also spotting up, knocking down shots. Kamachi, you see, Tom, he's not jumping. He extends his arms, and he's right there. What a pass from Terrence, man. Kamachi, I think he's tired right now. He doesn't have his wind back.
Foul against Florida State. Savoy tried to absorb the contact from Snyder.
Well, Chris Kamachi bent over at the waist. The big fella is tired, but he's giving maximum effort on the run, calls for the ball, takes the shot, the running baby hook. And when you're fatigued, although it's a great pass, I can't get off the ground. Seminoles ahead.
A sonic blockbuster, Duke Miami.
This is our works game summary. Florida State, Jason, 50% from the floor shooting in the first half.
In Florida State, they're shooting a high percentage, 40% from 3. They've made 4. But as we talked about in the open, they needed to get their footprints in the paint. They're attacking downhill, getting all the way to the rim, and a +4 margin with the points in the paint. That's a good sign for the Florida State Seminoles. They've shot a hot basketball from 3 to start the ACC season, but on the road against Miami, 5 for 24. Something they could not overcome trying to get that win on the road.
Snyder at the line. Florida State has now made 54 threes in the last 4.5 games.
Out of the timeout, Louisville now back into their 2-3 matchup zone themselves.
Walker. Tapped around. Knowles get it back. Walker attacking the rim.
His feet had to be in that circle because Adele was standing stationary. I believe his heels were in there, and that's an automatic blocking foul there.
First on Deng Adele. MJ Walker is at the free throw line. ACC All Access this week. West Durham one-on-one with Clemson head coach Brad Brownell. Plus the week in review and all the hardwood action around the ACC. Check your local listings on your regional sports networks. 76% of the season from the stripe for M.J. Walker, the freshman from Jonesboro, Georgia. King. Man.
A great box out by M.J. Walker there. The cross match he had Ray Spalding on his back. Simply fought him every step of the way.
Mahmoud made the block. Adele in transition. Off of the fingertips, out of bounds, and back to Florida State.
Well, there's some big bodies inside from both ball clubs. And guards have to come downhill and fight as well. M.J. Walker, the freshman, putting his body on Spalding, driving him out. Doing a nice job there with the box out.
Man, up against Mahmoud. Second chance, and he backs it out. Mahmoud, the top shot blocker in the ACC. Almost 4 per game for Anas Mahmoud, number 14 in black. Kofor against 2 defenders. Kevin Gelly keeps it alive, steps right into Mahmoud. Man came to get it. The shot clock reset, and now the officials will talk about it. Our officials tonight, Matt Connor, John Higgins, Doug Sermons. And John Higgins saw it right away.
Great job defensively from Louisville, contesting everything at the rim. The ball does not graze the rim at all. The officials come together, put 8 seconds on the shot clock. And Coach Padge is doing a nice job changing the defense, going from man-to-man to matchup zone, trying to take Florida State out of the early offensive flow that they had when they started the game 9-0.
David Padgett, who spent the last 3 years as an assistant at Louisville. A 2008 graduate, wore the Cardinal uniform, 3-year starter from 05 to 08. They put 5 seconds on the shot clock. And Florida State has also missed its last 6 field goal attempts. I think they want 8 on the shot clock. That's what John Higgins is indicating just to the left of our broadcast position, the bottom right of your screen. And now Matt Connor will go over to make sure the change is made. So 5:55 to go in our first half, and 8 of the shot clock for Florida State. Kofor, NBA range, off the glass for Phil Kofor. And now the shot clock is at 0 and didn't reset for the Louisville possession.
With just bad luck from the Louisville Cardinals, you do everything perfect. Great contest. You push Kofor well beyond the 3-point line. But he's shooting that ball with confidence. 44% from 3. Number 22 on the season there. On the catch, he just lets it fly. And sometimes, Tom, it's better to be lucky than good. I'm going to put that in the luck category, but it counts as 3 just as well.
His first 3 of the game. You mentioned his percentage. He's the best on the team by percentage from 20 feet 9 inches away and beyond, because that one was a good 4 to 5 feet beyond the line for Kofor.
And you're happy for Phil Kofor. He's an excellent player, has battled injuries throughout his career. And this year, he's healthy, he's producing, he's expanded his game. He was an athlete that attacked the rim. Now he's extended his game to be a guy that can knock down the 3-point shot. And he protects the rim defensively as well.
Adele. A one-handed rip from Kofor. Forrest dropped it inside to a congested area. Ball ends up back with the Knowles and Forrest. Kofor over McMahon. Battle on the glass. Won by Florida State. Kevin Gelly with style points.
Well, Tom, first of all, that was a grown man rebound. He went up and snatched that baby with 2 hands, gathered himself in traffic against the top shot blocker in the ACC, and one of the best in the country, Mahmoud. You see, he sheds the Dale, goes between 3 black jerseys, snatches it with 2 hands, gathers himself, and powers that ball up to the rim. For such a young player, an excellent job being a big man. A lot of times, big men now, they want to be finesse. This young fella is playing with strength, playing with force, and got himself a tough 2 there.
His first basket of the game is McMahon. Sends it back out to Adele, driving baseline. It will be Florida State ball. Adele might have stepped on that end line trying to drive that baseline. So the lead is 10 for Florida State. They scored the first 9 points of this game. 4.5 minutes to go in our first half. Tom Worby, Jason Capel, and our outstanding ACC College Hoops.
Behind the back.
Oh, Kevin Gilly on the business end for the Noles.
Freshman to freshman connection there. Walker behind the back, and Kevin Gilly. His hands were ready and on the catch to power up for an easy finish. Seminoles on a 9-0 run.
Dell. No lane to the hoop. Knocked away from King. Forrest up ahead. It's man. He's rocking the stanchion. And a timeout on the court.
Call the cops. It's been a robbery. Trent Forrest with the quick hands knocks it away. The pitch ahead. Terrence Mann, his second breakaway finish. But it started on the defensive end. Florida State sitting down, spreading out, active hands. And Trent Forrest doing the job defensively. Crossover, not in front of my face. Tips it away, pitches it ahead. Terrence Mann up high for the jam. Florida State's 14-point lead here in this first half. And a big reason, points in the paint, plus 10. Doing the job defensively, attacking early in transition, and absolutely dominating the backboard as well. Behind the back, MJ Walker to Cabangeli goes up high for the flush. And then Cabangeli, the freshman again, the tough rebound, powers it up for the tough 2. And call the police. It's been a robbery. Forrest ahead to Mann. Mann's second breakaway dunk. Defense turn into early opportunities offensively. The Seminoles come at you in waves. Coach Hamilton keeps fresh bodies on the floor. The pressure defense is a constant, and they're not going to stop for this full 40 minutes coming at you each possession.
Louisville had only turned it over once in the first 12.5 minutes of this game. 3 turnovers in the last 3.5 minutes for the Cards. And the largest lead of the game for Florida State at 14. Snyder dribbles to freedom. Does not get the soft bounce. Here's Cofer.
Early in the game, Louisville was dominating the backboard, especially on the offensive side of it. Now Florida State, they have 10 offensive rebounds plus 5 on the backboard. But you must take care of the basketball. Forrest, one of the best facilitators on this ball club. If you attack baseline, you better know where your outlets are. A costly turnover there.
Second foul on Cabangeli. He comes out for Florida State. 4 points, 3 rebounds. Florida State with a slight edge on the boards, 22-17. As we're about to cross the 3-minute threshold of the first half. So glad that you're with us from the Tucker Center. Mahmoud.
That's a good look from Louisville. Against that zone, you want to get it to the sweet spot right to the ACC. Mahmoud, that little floater, it's a good look. He has to finish that for the Cards to get a win on the road.
Tucker Center's been the home of Florida State basketball since 1981. And as we told you at the top of the broadcast, the last 28 opponents who've walked into this building have walked out with a loss.
Great defense there from Mahmoud. If you're going to attack 14 in black, you better come with authority. Cofer had that thing in one hand. It gets swatted away. But once again, offensively, the Cardinals unable to execute and get a good look. Good man.
Komachi.
Terrence Mann, a coach's son. His mother, the head coach at Rhode Island. The nice pass, but Quentin Snyder does him one better. A breakdown defensively. The Seminoles don't get back and get matched up. Snyder attacks early, over the top for an easy two from Ray Spalding.
Walker on the drive through the defense. Man wants it. Steps back and knocks it down.
Tom, surgical execution. The ball moved from one side of the floor to the other. And Terrence Mann, he's not known as a three-point shooter on the scouting report, but that's number 2 of the night. The shot fake leads to an easy opportunity from three.
Mahmoud dumps it low. Spalding, quick catch. He put it up on the square for 2 for Spalding.
And I'd like to see more of that, the high-low. Mahmoud is an excellent passer, and Ray Spalding's a guy that can catch and go up quickly, just as he did, to put points on the board from the bank.
Kofor tries to gather. Trying to give it to Kamaji. Snyder at the other end. Score that basket for Snyder, and the chance at the three-point play.
Rule number 1 in transition, stop the basketball. Forrest sprinted back, but he never turned around and located the ball. And Snyder just continued to attack. And once Forrest turned around, it was too late. Snyder already in motion, takes the hit. Eyes locked on the rim, focused on the finish. The kiss off the glass falls through the net. An opportunity for a three-point play.
Kamaji the board on the miss by Snyder, which doesn't happen very often. 88% from the line for Quentin Snyder, the senior from Louisville, Kentucky. That number 5th best in the ACC. Now just 34 seconds to go in our first half. Man with a dribbling clinic. Adjusts in midair. Kofor got it. Coach Capel wants him to hold for one shot. Coach Hamilton advises the same way, and now they're going to talk about it with a timeout.
The Seminoles going to use that use it or lose it timeout. But a great job, Kamaji. His presence, Tom, you see what he brings to this team. Sheer size and length, he's going to keep that ball alive. Kofor able to pull it in. And I'm sure that's what Coach Padgett is talking about. Guys in black jerseys have to check out, put their body on a Seminole player, and corral rebounds. Defensively, they've done a pretty good job. They have to finish possessions with rebounds.
David Padgett told us his team is getting better. He's getting more comfortable being the head coach. Everybody comes to him now, and he's starting to feel more comfortable with that situation as the head coach of the Cardinals under what you'd have to call trying circumstances on that Louisville campus.
Make no mistake, he's doing a great job. He's leading this team, having them prepared for every contest, and his presence on that sideline. He injects energy, and his team's going to need it here to get a win on the road.
Savoy gave it up. Angola for 3. And Louisville will just hang on to it and let the clock run out. Louisville cut that Florida State lead to 3, and then Florida State went on an 11-0 run to take a 14-point lead. They've got a 13-point advantage on the cards as the teams head to the locker room. Coach Leonard Hamilton kind enough to join us before he goes to the locker room. Coach, your impressions of what your team was able to accomplish there in the first 20 minutes against Louisville?
Well, I thought we had a couple of runs that when I thought they turned the ball over. We got some easy baskets, but this game is far from being over. All teams, they're going to make a run at us. Now we got to come back and see if we settle down a little bit. I thought we had some ill-advised plays there toward the end where we got the ball in the lane, turned the ball over, and gave them opportunity to inch back into the game. We just got to settle down and keep execution. Hopefully we can come back out the second half and pull like the 0-0, and let's see if we come away with a victory.
Coach, you guys really got things going defensively. What's the mindset to attack these guys and how can you carry that over for the final 20 minutes?
Well, that's what we're going to try to do. We just got to be a little more consistent. We're still a young team that's developing, and I thought we had some mental errors during the course of the first half. We just got to be consistent and get rid of some of those miscues.
Coach Hamilton, thank you for your time. Leonard Hamilton with some comments before he goes to the locker room. Coming up on the Hardee's halftime report, we'll break down the first 20 minutes. We've also got highlights from Virginia and Wake Forest earlier tonight. We'll be back after the break. Florida State 45, Louisville 32, ACC College Hoops.
Welcome back in. College Basketball Live, sitting here with a few ACC coaches. There's one first-time head coach in this group, David Padgett. When some assistants, most assistants get a head coaching job, it happens in April. You got yours in October. How would you assess the challenges of getting your team ready for the season in the preseason?
I don't know if we have enough time to talk about the challenges we faced, but, the good news about the team I inherited, we have a very good mix of older players who've played college basketball, seniors, juniors, even a sophomore in VJ King, and we have a very talented freshman class. Obviously, they're freshmen. There's a lot they need to learn and go through, and there's no easy way to get freshman experience except to let them go through it. But our older guys have been tremendous in trying to help the younger guys and get ready for the season. So just each practice, we're just trying to get better than we were the day before.
You had a little more lead time when you stepped over from an assistant to replacing John Calipari there at Memphis. What advice would you give him stepping in, although the time frame is a little bit different?
No, David's going to do a great job, and he's a basketball guy, and his dad was a really good coach as well too, and so he's going to do great. And they're good. Their team's really good, and following. With Coach Pitino, and when I took over at Memphis following Coach Calipari, it's just they're hard to do because the success that you're following in both guys. So you just do the best you can.
It was a primary head coaching job there at Memphis. You're just getting started. Mike, reflect on what it was. You're at the pinnacle now, the coaching in the ACC. Reflect to your first head coaching job when you slid into that chair and had that ownership. Maybe an overwhelming feeling. What was that like?
I think it was. I remember my first year at the University of Delaware in 1995. I wasn't very trusting of delegating. I tried to do everything and a little too much. I've learned to delegate more. But I think the biggest thing is you try to be yourself. You've worked for a guy. You've been with a head coach. I think to develop your own identity and be yourself, as soon as you can get confident doing that's going to be helpful.
Jim? What was that like?
My first head coaching job was at a Division II school called American International College in Springfield, Massachusetts. And recruiting there was very, very difficult. But we spotted a young man I thought could really turn our program around. His name is Rick Carlisle. And we tried to recruit Rick Carlisle to a Division II school. 2 years later, I was the assistant at Virginia, and Rick called me. He was playing at the University of Maine, and he transferred to Virginia, helped us get to the Final Four. Now has been in the NBA since 1984. So when you're looking at players and trying to build a program, you got to find good players. Rick was a good player. We just couldn't get him to AIC.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are. You might be someplace soon that you can actually get him. Buzz, your first head coaching job, what was that like?
I remember it vividly. Very honored, grateful, bigger than any dream I'd ever had. Was very thankful that the University of New Orleans would hire me, and have felt that way every day over the last 11 years.
Brad?
Yeah, I was very blessed. I took over at UNC Wilmington, having been an assistant there for 8 years under a very good coach in Jerry Wainwright. So the program was in a great situation. We had good players coming back, a good foundation. We'd been to the tournament. And so really the ease of transition for me was much easier than most, in that I already knew the league, I knew the university, and Coach Wainwright had given me a ton of responsibility. So that really gave me a lot of confidence.
You mentioned getting to the NCAA tournament, and when you're at maybe a lower level or a mid-major school, it's getting to the tournament's a great accomplishment. When you're in the ACC, it's not just getting to the tournament, it's making a run. You could have a great year, maybe even win a championship in the league, but you don't get to the second weekend, and it's almost forgettable in some fans' eyes. How do you guys self-assess when it comes to success relative to the NCAA tournament, whether it's getting there or advancing deep?
Well, for me, I mean, I've tried to be better just about your own personal success and what you define it as. I think my time at Memphis, I was really unhealthy mentally, and just because I lived and died by every single game, and so when I came to Georgia Tech, I tried to have a better perspective on things, and it's a work in progress. It's hard to get to the tournament. I mean, I thought we had a good year last year, and we finished 11th place in this league. And I mean, and we had 8 wins in the league. I don't know if we'll ever get 8 wins again in this league. I mean, it's hard to do. And so, if you just do the best you can, I've tried to be better about that and focusing on just doing the best you can and let the chips fall where they fall.
Now, as a player, obviously, you want to get as deep as you can. What about as a coach? He said when he started out, he didn't have a healthy perspective. You're just starting out. What's your perspective?
Well, I think at Louisville, it's just been long established that getting to the tournament per se isn't enough. I think making a deep run has come to be expected over the last 15, 16 years, and obviously we've had a lot of success. Now, I'm not going to put any pressure on myself or on my team to say, hey, we have to get to the Elite Eight or we have to get to the Final Four, because that's just not realistic. Everything we've been going through, me as a first-time head coach, that wouldn't be fair to anybody. So we're just trying to have as good of a season as we can have, win as many games as we can have, kind of just break up into 3 segments. You got non-conference, you've got conference, and then postseason. So just take it one segment at a time.
How does that change as you get deeper into your career? Because when we refer to you guys, it's how many Final Fours does he have? How many national championships?
Well, that dynamic happened a little bit this year for us. The 2 previous years we've been to the Elite Eight. We get knocked out in the second round by a very good West Virginia team, but we finished in the top 4 of the regular season and got to the championship game of the ACC tournament. And so I was trying to tell our guys that, we had a pretty good run, and even it was even harder trying to explain that to my fans, but maybe they finally got it at the end of the day.
What about you made a deep run with George Mason, now here you are at Miami.
Yeah, 20 years ago, I had an incredible opportunity to talk to the great John Wooden, who won 10 national championships. And he talked about one thing that you had to have to be successful as a coach. And he said you have to have balance. You have to have the understanding of what your expectations are, maybe very different than what anybody else is. And you just have to have that balance in your life, balance with your team, so that you're enjoying the journey. Not so much talking about, did you make the Final Four? So, and that's the way we've tried to approach it. We just want to be the best we can be every season we're competing.
Last thing, Buzz, it's validation, though, right? I mean, NCAA tournament, that's a thing you can sink your teeth into.
I think it just depends on what validation and who you're wanting the validation from. Not trying to be holier than thou. I like playing in the NCAA tournament because that means I have an extended period of time with our players each day. And so whether we win, whether we get there, I think that's for other people to judge. I think my responsibility as a leader is to help them grow to be the best people they can be, and if that means we play a couple extra games, maybe that time period helps them even more.
And Brad, you've had a taste of it there, Clemson.
Yeah, we haven't been in a while, and certainly something that we want to get back to. We talk a lot about, playing in March with a chance to advance. That's kind of a phrase we use to kind of keep our momentum going, and I think it's something that you put the NCAA tournament out there. It's not as easy at some programs. It's more of a challenge, and certainly you analyze each team and just try to get better working on that with that thought in mind for us.
Okay. Good perspective, guys. We'll wrap it up when we return. These guys have left quite a mark on their teams. What about the digital footprint, social media? Get into that for a few minutes now.
All right, let's start with your health.
Yeah.
You're 70, and a lot of people want to ask how much longer do you want to go?
Do you want to ask that?
Yeah, I'm going to ask that. I'm going to ask you, how much longer do you want to go?
Yeah, I didn't get my knee replaced to retire. Let's put it that way. So I'm 70 years old. I think I'm definitely younger at heart. I have the knowledge, though, of a 70-year-old who's coached for 42 years and has coached 11 years with the U.S. team. And I think that's a good combination, especially at a great school.
I want to make a difference. I'm enthusiastic. Come on, Kyle, I got you.
Grayson Allen, when describing you, called you a friend.
Yeah.
Which is interesting for a 21-year-old to call a 70-year-old a friend. Right. How do you think you've been able to connect with players these days and change and be able to adapt?
Well, I think it's up to the teacher to adapt so that his or her teachings are accepted easier by their pupils. I've had to adapt a lot Not values, work ethic, and all that, but how you communicate, how you dress, what jokes you tell, do you stay current?
Grayson Allen is a really good basketball player. He also appears to be a dirty basketball player.
Well, his reputation for this precedes him.
What gives you confidence that Grayson, if you have confidence, that Grayson has kind of gotten past the issues, the tripping issues?
Well, you know, look, there's no, is it more tripping issues or what everyone made of a couple issues? I want Grayson to be Grayson. Grayson's, I think, as good a player as there is in the country. And I want him to be a leader, and I want him to not have a rear-view mirror.
How much did you worry about him last year, though, because of all the public outcry and the attention that he got? How much were you worried that he'd be able to handle it all?
You would have thought that there was a capital offense that had occurred. That's the attention, I think, that our program brings, the scrutiny, and you know, you have to learn to live under that microscope. But he has had an opportunity to be in incredible situations where you don't play at the beginning of your freshman year. You are the hero of the national championship game. You're an All-American as a sophomore and you have an incident, and then that's unbelievably publicized. And then you have another situation, and then you're hurt the whole year. Holy mackerel. He's lived a lifetime in those 3 years, and I think it'll all end up, you know, really, really good.
How good can this team be? I mean, you have talent, you've got bigs. They're very different than a lot of your previous teams.
Yeah, you know, our team is going to be very much a developing team. We have 3 guys in Marvin Bagley, Wendell Carter, and Marquise Bolden who are going to be pro players, maybe all 3 of them at the end of this year. We don't have the perimeter depth that we, you know, like the last few years, but we have more big guys. And so we have to adjust what we do, and which we do every year.
Has your outlook of recruiting one that's changed? People think it has.
No. You know, everyone talks about us changing our recruiting philosophy. That's not the case. You know, it's just that Grant Hill was in the mid-'90s or early '90s. If Grant Hill was today, he'd go too. But we would have still recruited Grant Hill. You know, Leitner and Battier, and that's when it started for us with Elton Brand, but he was even here 2 years. I have not changed. The landscape has changed to where it would be the best decision for them to go, and then I'm okay with that.
What time is it?
Saturday.
Prime time.
Yo, the league is stacked from front to back with cats who make the net snap and backboards crack.
From old school fans to new advanced, that's the fact of the matter with Saturday's where it's at.
Yep, prime time, yeah, the stars align to shine and grind and drop dimes and blow your mind. Every lane making it rain is the best in the game. You witnessing the future of the Hall of Fame.
It's prime time.
NBA Saturday Prime Time begins January 20th on ABC, presented by YouTube TV.
You know, at SportsCenter, we like to stay current. And right now, user-generated content is what's hot.
So if you'd like me to read the next highlight, text 4464 to SC. Or if you want Jay to do it, you can text 4465.
Or if you'd like to see Teddy, the roller skating cockatoo, dunk a basketball, text 4466.
We're engaging with our fans in a whole new way.
The NBA on ESPN. Basketball Battle. Select your character. Durantula. The Greek Freak. Friday at 8 on ESPN.
Whenever Blue Bloods face ranked road tests, it's gonna be a blockbuster.
The most passion, the most intensity, the highest level of excellence in college basketball.
First,
this team has aspirations to win a national championship.
This is a young Miami team that grew up a lot
then.
This league has belonged to Kansas.
They know what the press does for this team. This place is rocking.
This is a Sonic blockbuster. Duke Miami at 7, then Kansas, West Virginia at 9, Monday on ESPN. Whenever Blue Bloods face ranked road tests, it's gonna be a blockbuster.
How pretty was that? That was an impressive move.
This is a Sonic blockbuster. Duke Miami at 7, then Kansas, West Virginia at 9, Monday on ESPN.
The NBA on ESPN. Basketball battle. Select your character. Durantula, the Greek Freak, Friday at 8 on ESPN.
You know, at SportsCenter, we like to stay current. And right now, user-generated content is what's hot.
So if you'd like me to read the next highlight, text 4464 to SC, or if you want Jay to do it, you can text 4465.
Or if you're able, they sold out that student section behind the basket to our left. About 4,500 students happy to be back on campus, maybe not for class, but for the return of college basketball.
Giving them reason to celebrate and cheer. Excellent first half, dunks, defense. You must put together a full 40 minutes to win a ball game.
Back to work for the Knowles and the Cards. It's Spalding. Just a little layup the side of the rim.
And a great job. He hasn't been able to get the ball close to the rim. What does he do? He steps away, attacks off the bounce. The crossover gets him to the baseline. The shot fake gets the defender in the air. And an easy 2 for the Cardinals to start this second half.
Man who made a couple of threes in the first half. Tried to drop it off. The Knowles are able to maintain possession with C.J. Walker in the shot box at 7. Out of bounds into Louisville.
Well, that's 2 great passes inside to Obiagu that he has to catch and finish. His teammates are setting the plate. They're putting the silverware out. All he has to do is catch and eat. And when you drop 2 easy passes like that, coach is going to sit down and talk to you. But he's a young player. He's going to get better. If these are opportunities in the ACC you cannot let slip away.
Double team down low, broken up by Walker.
Well, that turnover should go to Snyder. He has to be the eyes for the offensive player posting up. He has to see Walker spying in the back, coming to knock that ball away. And if you're a senior point guard, you have to know better than that. There are 2 defenders there. Walker, although he's smaller and maybe it's hard to see him, you have to know he's there and just move the basketball. If 2 are guarding one, someone else is open. And Snyder has to be the leader to do all the little things, passing the ball for the Cardinals.
At the other end, Snyder. King trying to grab it, bounces to Walker. Up ahead, man, swooping in.
The ball gets there faster on the pass than the dribble. And the Seminoles doing a nice job pitching that ball up the sideline to a streaking Terrence Mann, who's making a living in this contest, simply running hard and attacking in transition.
12 points now for Mann, 4 straight games in double figures. Mann's got it. Angola. Snyder for the Cards. Spalding had it knocked away by Walker. King leaning in.
C.J. Walker, the smallest player on the floor. He's got a steal coming from the help side on Ray Spalding, who didn't keep the ball high. Tough pass from Snyder. And there on Spalding attacking the rim, he just goes up and blocks the shot. The young fella, the little guy, is everywhere defensively for the Seminoles.
Foul against the Cardinals on the previous sequence.
In transition, Snyder unable to finish. King unable to corral the rebound. The ball pitches ahead from Walker to Mann. And the Seminoles doing the job defensively, forcing tough shots. Then, Tom, they're coming downhill to rebound the basketball. That allows them to attack early in transition in a broken court against a defense that's not yet set.
Terrence Mann at the free throw line, the junior from Lowell, Massachusetts. Born in Brooklyn, New York. That is our destination at the end of the regular season for the second straight year for the ACC tournament with Duke as the defending champs. Florida State and Leonard Hamilton winning this title back in 2012. In fact, the last 6 years at the tournament, Jason, we've had a different champion each year.
So much parity. And this season, no different. You see it already early in the year. Anyone's able to win, especially on their home court in the ACC so far this season. Nice drive there from Dane Goodell. Attacking the lane, using his great body control to put that ball in the hoop.
Good example of that tonight, Jason. Georgia Tech with a home win against Notre Dame and a turnover for Florida State.
So Notre Dame has found ways to win without Bonzie Colson. Matt Farrell has been out as well at the point guard position. But Georgia Tech starting to get healthy. Josh Okogie back from that broken hand. They weren't surprised last year, but getting everybody's best shot this year, Georgia Tech. And for Louisville, the last 2 possessions, you love the attack from Dane Goodell. And partner, just as we talked about, Georgia Tech doing the job, getting healthy, all hands on deck now. A big win over Notre Dame, who was undefeated. Virginia Tech goes on the road to get a win at Wake. And you knew Duke, coming off a loss at NC State, they were going to bounce back, do the job defensively. Coach K extended his bench a bit, playing more bodies, fresher players, more active defensively. Got a big win on the road at Pittsburgh.
Gary Trent Jr. led the way with 14 points for the Blue Devils. 14-2 and 2-2 in ACC play. Dane Goodell at the free throw line from Louisville. Eight points now for Adele, and the lead is 10.
Louisville just hanging around. With that make, they can set up their press. They haven't pressed as much this season. They haven't turned the opposition over as much as you typically see Louisville teams do.
Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be Louisville basketball. Looked like Walker, MJ Walker, had trouble handling the pass underneath the basket.
Well, if you're going to attack baseline, I said it before, you better know what your next outlet, the next pass is going to be. Because too many bodies, too many big bodies up front to swallow you once you pick up that dribble. Nice job defensively by the Cardinals.
McMahon gave up the 3 to Adele. From the wing, Dane Goodell.
Well, buy a ticket. It's the Dane Goodell show here in the second half. He's doing his part to bring the Cardinals back. Now an 8-point lead, and the momentum has started to shift a bit.
Too high for Kamaji. You got to put that alley-oop up there pretty high for Kamaji to miss it. Time out of the court.
The Louisville Cardinals have come out with great energy here in this second half, led by Dane Goodell, attacking for a tough finish inside, and then the shot fake 1-2 pull-up, cash.
Inside the Tucker Center, 48-40. As the Cardinals get back into this one. A famous onlooker in the front row. Our Dairy Queen fan cam features David Ross, 2-time World Series champ. Played for the Dodgers, Pirates, Padres, Reds, Red Sox, Braves, the Red Sox again, and the Cubs. But he hit his first career home run off a famous player. It happened in 2002. Ross was playing for the Dodgers. First career home run off of Mark Grace, who was playing for the Diamondbacks. I know I'm going a long way for this story. 19-1, the Dodgers won that game. That's why Grace was in there pitching. So David Ross in the front row, checking out the Knowles and the Cards. Off the glass, the angle too extreme for Trent Forrest. Other end, Spalding, unstoppable.
And Kamaji is coming up limping. He went down on that play, never made it to half court, and has a noticeable limp. Got to keep an eye on that. Only his second game back. in the last 2 months. Had that foot injury. Doing a nice job rebounding the basketball. They need that big fella healthy to produce on the floor.
Spalding is into double figures with 10. Now a steal. Williams, Snyder, offensive foul.
Florida State careless with the basketball. That's now 11 turnovers. And simply not crisp with their passes, meeting passes, creating those angles. And got lucky there. Angola got back, stood his ground, took the hit. But the Seminoles, Coach Hamilton said at halftime, they have to play a full 40 minutes and shore up the mistakes they've been making. Have not gotten off to a nice start here in this second half so far.
So the lead at one point of the first half for Florida State was 17. It is now down to 6 with the Noles in possession. Shot clock goes inside of 10. Walker for 3. Long rebound, Terrence Mann.
You do the job defensively. You give up an open shot, but it's a miss. If you're Louisville, you must box out and get that rebound. Great contest there. Williams at the rim.
And now we've got 3, 4 players all digging for that basketball. Possession arrow favors the Noles.
Drive to the lane, verticality. Williams does a nice job extending his arms, only coming down when he recognizes he can block that shot. The intensity of this game, every possession means so much. Multiple bodies on the floor fighting for that possession. And Coach Padgett, he may as well be the 6th man on the floor in a black jersey. And a defensive star's doing the job, but there's no defense for that. The extra pass and 23, MJ Walker, that is, known as a shooter, attacks the rim there. The flush for an emphatic 2. Well, his initials are MJ. He wears number 23. Come fly with me. If you're going to attack the number 4 shot blocker in all of college basketball, you take it with authority and you put him in the rim. The great attack, the elevation, the big-time flush from the freshman.
6 points for MJ Walker. Dell drew some defensive attention. McMahon let the defender slide on by. Tap back to Snyder for a fresh shot clock. Back to McMahon, catch and release, and he's got that 3 out of the corner.
And it's the first clean look he's really gotten this entire contest. And there's a reason. He is a shooter. When he steps on the floor, when he gets off the bus, everyone recognizes his job is to come in the game and shoot 3-point shots. When you get offensive rebounds, it leads to opportunities such as that. Big man with a timely 3.
His first points of the game for the redshirt sophomore from Sarasota, Florida. Man on the drive, whistle and foul against the Cardinals.
The Cardinals have some fight there. Offensive rebound leads to a cross-court pass from Quentin Snyder. And McMahon, feet are set, hands are ready, eyes are locked on that rim. He knows what to do with it from beyond the arc. 3-ball corner pocket.
13 points for Mann at the free throw line. If there is a deficiency for this Florida State team, it's from the line. 66% as a team, Jason. That is 14th in the conference. And Mann is 1 for 3 from the line. Six-point difference. Inside of 13 minutes to go in regulation. Teams met last year in their only meeting of last season. A win for Florida State up top. One-handed tomahawk from Spalding.
Quentin Snyder using the ball screen to get downhill. Got a commitment from Kamaji. That opened up the lane, just left it up high. And Ray Spalding coming out of nowhere, one hand with the throwdown.
12 points now for Spalding. The lead is 4. It's now 6. Next to Terrence Mann. 16 points in the game for Mann. Adele around a screen. Runs into Kamaji. Altered the shot and a foul against Florida State. Looks like M.J. Walker.
Louisville Cardinals showing some fight here in the second half. Snyder to Spalding. The alley-oop, the throwdown. Spalding has the juice.
Plenty of rim rattling noise tonight from the Tucker Center as the Noles have the 53-47 lead with 11:55 to go in the second half. So glad that you're with us tonight from Tallahassee, Florida. Tom Wormy, Jason Capel, and our outstanding ACC College Hoops production crew. Just cleaning up a wet spot there right in front of that Louisville bench before Dell inbounds it. Cards have fought to get back into this one as Mahmoud grabs it. He'll drop it off. Spalding tries to rip the rim off his hinges, and he misses.
But I love the high-low. Again, Mahmoud is an excellent passer for his size. Receiving the basketball, he attacked, and he and Spalding worked well together. I'd like to see more of that as this second half moves forward.
Fouls on Ryan McMahon. That's his first. Shot clock. Rolling down. Man making his way to the rim.
He does everything well. Doesn't do anything great, but plugs the holes, fills the stat sheet, and continues to get better as his career progresses.
Dell misses. Man on the weak side. He's the leading scorer and rebounder for Florida State, showing us why tonight. 18 points in the game for Man.
And he's a guy you're comfortable with him being your decision maker as well. Does the job finding people, has knocked down a pair of threes, has turned himself into a complete player here at Florida State.
Add 8 rebounds to the effort for Man tonight. That was knocked away by McMahon. He just picked up another person in the second.
Just doing a nice job attacking. And partner, if you're going to take it to a shot blocker, you must take it right to him. You can't worry about moving the ball around, contorting yourself. You take it right through his nose and force him to prove he's going to block your shot. Terrence Mann does just that. Earns himself a tough 2 inside.
Mann got his career high in a win at Florida December 4th. 25 points for Mann in that game. Gives it up to Walker. Shot clock at 10. Recognition from Walker. Looked like Spalding altered the shot. Adele. Snyder for 3.
That's the momentum changing play there. Great job defensively. You force a short shot clock. Spalding, the long arms for that contest. And then a transition 3-point shot. But you must defend without fouling if you're Louisville. There's Spalding with the rejection. Dingadale with the push. And you see the backcourt mates communicate with each other. The flip back, 1-2 step. Snyder in rhythm. Knocks down that timing 3-point shot. And partner, Florida State has seemingly controlled this game. It's a 5-point contest right now. Louisville's not going anywhere, slowly but surely plugging themselves back into this contest.
Man at the free throw line, Florida State in the bonus. So they'll have over 10 minutes.
And Man has struggled at the line. Talked about Florida State. Their one deficiency is that they are not a great free throw shooting team. And they're going to be in close games in ACC. They have to shore that up, especially here in this contest at home.
Adele trying to get around C.J. Walker.
I like the mindset of Louisville. They took too many 3-point shots, in my opinion, throughout that first half. The second half, they've come out. They've tried to get downhill. They've attacked the rim, put pressure on the officials, and put pressure on the defense. Adele unable to finish the up and under.
MJ Walker had it knocked away. CJ Walker. Angola. Shot clock's at 5 for CJ Walker. Top of the backboard, and Mahmoud grabs it. And with some contact after the rebound from Mahmoud. King at the other end. A follow from Spalding. Second effort, and he got fouled.
Would love for King to have drawn the defense and dropped that ball off for an easy, uncontested opportunity by Spalding. But the defense of Louisville has really picked up the pace, allowing themselves to get out in transition, not having to go hand-to-hand combat in the half court against the set defense. Spalding at the line for 2.
Kevin Gelly picked up the foul for Florida State, his third. Cards getting ever closer. 13 points now for Spalding. Kofor returns to the game for Florida State. MJ Walker to the bench.
Coach Hamilton putting more size on the floor. They were a bit small with man as the 4-man. Just a terrible turnover from Walker. And don't look now, partner. But the Louisville Cardinals are flying high. The pitch ahead in transition. Ding Adele. Cash from the left wing behind the arc.
We are tied at 55 and inside of 9 minutes to go in regulation. Last time we were tied, Jason, it was 11-11 early in the first half.
And costly turnovers. Live ball turnovers. Throwing the ball into center field is intercepted. The pitch ahead, no closeout. Straight Cash from 3.
The 13-point halftime deficit. Florida State, Jason, has turned it over 7 times in the second half.
And careless turnovers, Tom. Just throwing the ball any and everywhere in center field where the Cardinals can just get in transition. But at halftime, you can see the mandate. Stop settling for outside shots. Attack the paint. The Cardinals attacking early and often. And there's that pass to center field, intercepted. And Dingadale, who's shooting a hot basketball, you don't close out, your hands are down. He raises up with confidence and ties the game. Every possession means so much in ACC play. You can't give the ball away.
Man past 3 defenders. Score the basket for Man. And that ends a Louisville run of 8-0 as Man has a chance at the 3-point play.
You see the ball movement, and Man attacks downhill. A bit of continuation there. He was hit right there by Spalding. Puts it up high, recognizing Mahmoud. Blocks 4 shots a game, that he's coming from the weak side. Got a friendly roll. Able to capitalize the 3-point play.
21 points for Terrence Mann. 5th time this year he's gone for 20 or more. Dell has to back it out. Mahmoud with the dribble and the drop to Spalding, who got fouled. These teams are playing up on the rim tonight, Jason Capel.
Well, partner, I'm over here pointing at Spalding the entire possession.
I saw you.
The Seminoles were cross-matched. He had C.J. Walker on him. Just throw the ball to the rim, but once again, Mahmoud being the facilitator. And if you're Spalding, make no mistake, that's got to be an and one. That's a finish him opportunity. Because now he steps to the line for 2, unable to make the first. You got to finish that play. The pass, that's one of those, if you're going to attack, you go with authority and you finish him. Take the arm, put him in the rim with the basketball. Get the bucket and one.
Williams back in for Louisville. 2-point game, 8:08 to go. Spalding comes out of the game. 15 points for Spalding. Man, spins by Mahmoud. going to the line. We'll take a timeout. What a game tonight here in Tallahassee. It's brought to you by the official corporate champions of the ACC, Geico, New York Life, Bojangles, Food Lion, and by Toyota. Tallahassee, Florida, the Tucker Center, and the folks who came out tonight for this 9 p.m. Eastern start have been treated to some exceptional college basketball. Here's what's on the line. Florida State has won 28 in a row, 13 in a row against ACC opponents here at the Tucker Center, third best in the country. 12 points now in the second half for Terrence Mann. 4 of 7 from the line.
And Tom, that's going to be a big key down the stretch. Which teams can execute offensively? Which teams can finish plays inside, not leaving points on the board? And if they earn trips to the line, who can put it in the hole and capitalize for their ball club?
Cards have also shot the 3 much better in the second half. 2 of 11 in the first half, 3 of 7 in the second half. A misfire from King.
The zone wins if you do that. If you come down offensively and simply swing it back and forth and then launch a 3, that allows the zone to win. You have to attack the zone, get a piece of the paint, and put the defense in rotation.
Up top, Kamaji couldn't handle it out of bounds, and it's Cardinal basketball. Despite losing that ball out of bounds, it's been another tremendous game from Kamaji coming back from injury. So is McMahon. He had a rib injury that forced him to miss the first part of the season. He's back in for Louisville. 3-point specialist.
Florida State sitting back in their 2-3 zone as well. Great entry pass from Snyder. Mahmoud did his work early, created that angle. And Snyder simply delivered that ball where only one person could get it. Mahmoud could just simply receive, turn, and finish. An easy 2 over Kamaji.
Back to a 2-point game. Walker threads it. Angola misses. Kamaji off his fingertips. Back to Angola.
Tom, Angola's looking for contact. Go finish the play. If you happen to get hit and you earn a trip to the line, great. But first and foremost, focus on making the play.
Man. Oh. Up and under with a little spin.
What a finish. The attack, the up and under, and the jelly roll for the fillet off the glass.
Oh, we've been waiting for the jelly roll. At the other end, it's Williams, and that's a 3.
Williams known as a big man with a great touch. And a timely 3-point shot there from the freshman. Stepping up, knocking down a big one.
62-61. Florida State, which led by 13 at halftime. Malik Williams, just his 8th made 3 of the season as the shot clock winds down to 6. Gola short. And now Louisville with a chance to take its first lead of the game. Williams, heat check. Kamaji.
Tom, that's a quick shot. I love the push. But you're pushing because you're trying to get your offense going before the 2-3 zone of Florida State can be set. You can get that shot at any time. Get something going to the rim. Put the onus on the officials to make the call. Florida State once again having turnover issues in the second half. But what a finish here. Terrence Mann, the up and under, the English for the spin off the glass. And Williams, I'll do you one better. I'll step out, uncontested, knock down that 3-point shot. Terrence Mann, 15 of Florida State's 17 second half points. He's been a one-man show for the team in white. He's going to need help down the stretch from his teammates. Because Louisville, they have the others stepping up. McMahon locked and loaded all times. If you're going to play zone, you must locate 30 in black and contest, run him off the line. Too easy an opportunity.
First lead of the night, 64-62. Spalding makes the play defensively. Up to Adele. Crossover by Kofer. And free throws coming for Dang Adele.
To beat a zone, the first thing you need to do is attack it. You screen the top, miscommunication, who's taking the ball, who's taking the next pass, leaves McMahon open, and he's going to make you pay. And then you come in the lane, Ray Spalding sends it away. Adele turns Kofer around, earns himself a trip to the foul line. And partner, you have to give a lot of credit to Coach Padgett. The adjustments he made out of halftime, attacking, downhill, getting to the hole. Defensively, he's changed the defenses from man to zone, and he's given a belief and a confidence in his team, and they've responded. They've earned their way back in this game, now building a 4-point lead.
Florida State had a 60-56 lead just a few moments ago. Louisville has gone on a 10-2 run and taken their largest lead of the game, 66-62. Angola. Mahmoud got a piece, but he also impeded the progress of Angola.
But that's what you have to do against the zone. You screen the top of it, you attack, you get it to the rim. There's the body for Mahmoud. You take the hit. You can't allow the zone to take your aggression away and make you settle for outside shots. No, attack it, screen it, get downhill, make the right play for yourself, or create an opportunity for a teammate.
Angola at the line, best free throw shooter on the team, 80% from the country of Colombia. 1 of 2. His first point of the second half, had 11 in the first half for Angola, and they were early. Adele stepping back. Maji went high to get it. Coach Capel says slow it up. 5 years as the head man at Appalachian State.
Well, you want to ensure you execute. You know Louisville's going to fall back in this zone. Where are you going to attack the zone? And that's not the play you want to make. Tom, you can get that shot at any time. The shot clock should not have reset. That was an air ball. And that's an error by the officials. The Seminoles very fortunate with that opportunity.
David Padgett saw it. He was up there mid-court almost, trying to flag down an official. Angola sheds the defender. Adele pulls it down.
Well, as the great Rasheed Wallace would say, the ball don't lie. And great defense by Louisville, and things work themselves out. A missed call by the officials, but you must continue to play the next play.
Shot clock at 6 for McMahon, and the one-handed jam on the alley-oop on a Mahmoud.
You can see the confidence of this Louisville team. Now you have McMahon, a shooter, driving and just lobbing that ball up with the left hand, knowing his big man's going to come and go get it. And at half court, Coach Padgett beats McMahon, letting him know, great pass, continue to execute. But that took a lot of guts. The attack, the ball screen, roll, throw it up, big fella, go get it.
First rule of
College Hoops is brought to you by the Works Hydro Shot, the first portable power cleaner. Ready, aim, clean. Back in Tallahassee, what a night of college basketball. The Cardinals have come all the way back from 17 down to the first half to take the lead, 68-63. They have outscored the Noles 36-18, Jason, in the second half.
Well, they've doubled them in the second half, and they've done the job defensively, forcing tough shots and playing against a broken defense many times because they've decided to attack early. And Coach Padgett has done the job instilling confidence and energy into this Louisville team on the road, doing a nice job in this second half. And In Louisville, every game they've lost has been against a top 25 team. They were crushed at home by Kentucky, Purdue, so big, so physical inside, Seton Hall, an older, experienced team. But make no mistake, this is a very good basketball team who is playing excellent basketball here on the road in a tough environment where not many teams get a win.
And you can see the success for this Louisville program. Only 4 teams on that graphic, Jason, of the Cards are part of it over the last 15 seasons.
But you love the fact that this team is continuing to grow. There's a new voice. There's a new leader at the helm in tough situations. But make no mistake, the expectations remain the same. And Coach Paget, I can't say enough about the job he is doing on the road in a tough environment when his team was struggling. They weren't rebounding. They were being manhandled inside. And they have faced the storm, taken the run, and started throwing punches themselves in the second half and have taken the lead here with 2:34 to go.
Well, the charge to get back into this game for Louisville, one of the stars to watch is our Hardy's star to watch, Deng Adele. In this game, Jason, 16 points for Adele.
Well, he did a nice job getting them going, knocking down shots in the first half. But he's led the charge in the second half as well, getting downhill, knocking down outside shots, but also being a facilitator, being that connector, making the next pass, doing the job defensively. That's allowed guys like Spalding to get easy opportunities. That's allowed a guy like McMahon to knock down shots, Snyder to get open looks. Deng Adele has had his fingerprints on all the positive things that have happened for the Cardinals in this contest.
Coming off a double-double in the loss at Clemson in their most recent game, as they are still working on the basket to our right. Working on the netting. So we told you now, let's set it up for you. Florida State, as we showed you and told you, has won 28 straight on this floor. Jason, you have to go back to February 17th of 2016 when they lost here at the Tucker Center to Georgia Tech 86-80. That's the last time they lost on this floor. 13 straight against ACC competition.
And all comers. It's not like they played cupcakes. They've taken on all comers, and when they come to Tallahassee, they've walked out of here with an L. This is a tough place to play. The job they've done renovating the Tucker Center, from the scoreboards to the panels in the upper deck to the seats. What a beautiful college arena, a great college environment. It's been loud in here tonight, but the Cardinals have withstood runs, and they stand toe-to-toe now coming down the stretch.
Well, we want you to join us again on your regional sports networks next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, on ACC doubleheader. The Clemson Tigers, the North Carolina Tar Heels, both ranked in the top 25. And then it's Pittsburgh at Syracuse. Pittsburgh and Syracuse at 9 Eastern. You want to check your local listings next Tuesday. Syracuse is the next opponent for Florida State here at home, and we get a look at the complete ACC standings with the Tigers and the Cavs at the top.
Well, Clemson having an excellent season for Brad Barnell. They defend, they score the ball at a much higher rate this season. And Virginia, the best defensive team in the country, but Ty Jerome, the sophomore, is shooting such a hot basketball. They're scoring it a little better between Guy and Jerome. If they're able to continue to shoot the ball from the perimeter, as they have in multiple games throughout ACC play, they're going to be a tough out as this season progresses.
Virginia with a win against North Carolina. They held them to 49 points in that game. So stout defensively under Tony Bennett. Told you about the last 6 years. Different tournament champion. Virginia was one of those. Florida State was one of those. Miami, Duke, North Carolina, and Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. And this year, partner, is wide open. You look the preseason polls, yet Duke and North Carolina sitting at the top. They have multiple losses already. The league is wide open. So much parity. Teams have gotten better. And if you're able to steal wins on the road, you put yourself in great position moving forward in conference play.
Now, Florida State has beaten North Carolina but lost to Duke. We'll continue to work on the netting on the basket to our right. And step aside for just a moment.
A Sonic blockbuster, Duke Miami.
Aiton at Arizona. The ACC has a few, led by Marvin Bagley III, averaging a double-double, had one tonight at Pittsburgh, 16 points, 15 rebounds. Just an excellent player who seems to be getting stronger now as the season goes on.
Bagley leads the ACC in scoring, rebounds, the double-doubles you mentioned, second in field goal percentage. Had a game this season, over 30 points and 20 rebounds. And what a performance by Bagley.
But that was against Florida State. You talk about being a freshman going against that mountain of a front line of Florida State. Those are big boy numbers. He's going to make some GM, some franchise very happy in the near future. But the Blue Devils also hope he leads them to an ACC championship with their eyes squarely set on number 6 in the national championship as well.
Florida State losing that game on the road at Duke 100-93. Dan Goodell and his teammates and all the other players and fans and support staff waiting for that net to get hooked up on the rim. Has been fixed after a delay of about 10 minutes. Florida State with the basketball and trailing 68-63. Turn around off the heel of the rim and into the corner. McMahon tried to save it, and he could not. Kevin Gelly missing the shot for Florida State. And now Man is down on the court for Florida State, being helped up by his teammates.
Well, the trainer has come on the floor, so Man, he remains in the game. Took a shot there, and the scrum was grabbing the back of his neck. But with the trainer coming on the floor, I believe he has to be substituted out of the game. He can't come on the floor and then remain in the game. Then Goodell going up high comes right down on Man's face. As I said, you must sub him out if the trainer steps foot on the floor. MJ Walker checks in. But you need 14 in white back on the floor. He's been the only option, consistent option here in the second half for the Seminoles.
Angola with a clutch three. And the first field goal in 4 minutes for Florida State to cut the lead to 2.
Angola was hot in the first half, but he has gone missing. He's been found at the right time. A big-time three-point shot. And the Seminoles get the stop they needed defensively. Big steal there from Kabengele.
First three of the second half for Florida State comes out of the hand of Angola. Shake Snyder, minute and a half to go in regulation. Angola, Mahmoud with the rejection. 7 on the shot clock. Another block by Mahmoud. It's out of bounds with 3 on the shot clock. As Forrest was driving, Mahmoud made the play.
Well, there's a law for Louisville. Do your job. If it comes in the lane and you're a big guy, especially Mahmoud, you send it away. 2 big block shots, forcing the Seminoles now to have to attack against a short shot clock.
Gopher missed. McMahon waits for reinforcements and Snyder. The final minute of regulation. McMahon for 3.
Ice water. On the catch, you must make 30 in black bounce the basketball. A rhythm shot, no conscience whatsoever, lets it fly.
Angola for 3. He's got the answer. Timeout on the court. 2 monster threes from Brian Angola.
See it rain, let it rain. Raining 3-point shots. Brian Angola, the big-time tray over Spalding, and there defensively, a second late, allowing McMahon the rhythm to rock into it. And then from 2 counties away, Angola makes up for his mistake defensively, raises up from distance. And partner, that hit nothing but the bottom of the net, breaking in those freshly put nets up on the rim. We've got ourselves a barn burner with 44 ticks to go.
18 points for Angola, 4 of 7 from three-point real estate. Seconds. Louisville by 2.
With Florida State, you don't want to foul. You want to play solid defense. You got the turnover. Shot clock and game clock are almost exactly the same.
Angola. Man. They'll send it back out. They got the time. 13 on the shot clock and rolling. Forrest blocked by Mahmoud, his 4th of the game.
Mahmoud is a one-man wrecking crew inside. Anything that steps in the wide area of the paint, he's doing his best of sending it away.
This is man. 6 seconds to go on the shot clock. Man, the drive against Mahmoud. There's a loose ball. McMahon picked it up, and he got fouled. Kevin Kelly fouled McMahon.
Partner, from here in live action, it looked like a lot of contact on that play. Right there on the arm, McMahon gets away with one. You love the misdirection. You had Angola sprinting opposite. That allowed the driving line for man, and he got hit on his wrist, and everyone in here and everyone on television had to see it. That's a missed call. It forces a tough shot. The Cardinals recover the loose ball. Now McMahon steps to the line with an opportunity to ice this game if he makes a pair.
Cards are 9 of 13 from the line as a team. Keep in mind, the last time Florida State lost on this court, February 17th of 2016 against Georgia Tech, 86-80. They've won 28 in a row since, and 13 in a row against the ACC. There's only 1.5 on the clock. McMahon seemingly can put it away with his free throw.
What guts, togetherness, toughness. On the road, facing adversity, didn't play well. Everyone chipped in and helped this team step their feet squarely to the winner's circle. A great road win, a team-building win for the Louisville Cardinals here tonight.
The streak has ended. David Padgett and the Cards do it. 73-69. The 28-game winning streak at the Tucker Center for Florida State. It was third best in the nation. It is over. 73-69 Cards. Florida State led 62-61 with 6:05 to go. Louisville outscored Florida State 12-7 to win it down the stretch. What a game tonight. David Padgett's team was down by 13 at half, by 17 in the first half, and they overcame that deficit. And Coach Padgett is kind enough to join us now in the aftermath of the victory. A couple of clutch free throws from McMahon down the stretch. And Coach Padgett, how about the effort of your team to come back from 13 down at halftime against a team that dominates on their floor?
I'm speechless. I really am. I'm so proud of my guys for being resilient. We've been resilient all year on the road, especially with the exception of one game, but we finally were able to overcome it. You know, we had gotten close in at Purdue and at Clemson and just didn't have enough. And today we had enough, and we relied on our defense to win the game for us.
Coach, what was the mandate at halftime? Because it looked like you guys came out in the second half wanting to attack, not settle for three-point shots, but get the ball to the rim, putting a lot of pressure on the Seminole defense.
Well, even in the first half, we did a good job offensively. We just struggled to rebound the ball there the last 6 minutes of the first half, and that was why they took the lead. So it was just all about rebounding. I told them, I said, look, we've lost some games because we turned the ball over. Today we were struggling because we weren't rebounding. I said, let's not keep shooting ourselves in the foot. Let's take care of the backboard and defend, and we'll get back in this game.
Coach, how does this affect this team now when you get a win of this magnitude going on the road and doing it seemingly against all odds based on the deficit at halftime?
Excuse me, I can't stop sweating. It is humid down here.
It is hot. Yes, it is. Luckily, your team was hot in the second half for the comeback.
No, I mean, we needed this desperately. We had been so close in a couple road games, and we really, really needed this win, not only because it got us a good road win against the top 25 team, but also because it was an ACC game. Now instead of going 1-2, your back's against the wall a little bit. Now we're 2-1 heading home, and I can't tell you guys how proud I am of our players.
Coach, we thank you for your time and congratulations on the win.
Thank you, guys.
Great win, Coach.
Louisville's been good on the road, and they did it tonight. They outscored Florida State 41-24 in the second half. For Jason Capel and our outstanding production crew, I'm Tom Wormy saying so long from Tallahassee, Florida. 73-69 the final. The Cards win it.
Hockey Day.